Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Adam, and I wanted to let you know that I finally bought AvePoint. We can see the details of the transaction right here. And so we can see that I bought 70 shares of APXT, which is the SPAC that's going to reverse merge with AvePoint at $14.20 a share. And again, I bought 70 shares, okay? And I thought this was a perfect time to get into the market, and we'll discuss exactly why and what I think the future growth projections are for AvePoint, okay? And I think it's a very exciting opportunity for many investors, including myself, okay? So first off, AvePoint is a software as a service company. And as you know, cloud and everything related to the cloud, like data storage and data management, is going to be growing insanely and has been growing insanely over the past couple months, right? And I think this projection is going to continue. Let's look at some fundamentals first. So right now the company is valued at 600, or the SPAC is valued at $645 million, which we'll take into account that number later on in our analysis. And we can see right now that this stock on the 5-day chart is sort of bouncing up and down. And I thought that it was a good buy at when I bought it at like $14.20 a share, right around here. Okay. And again, if you want to check out when exactly I'm buying each and every stock, check out the links below. Okay. And so we can right now, if we're just looking solely at the indicators, we can see that the indicators for the relative strength index is 50. So pretty much neither overbought nor oversold. Pretty much a fair valuation if you're just looking at the relative strength index. And then the MACD, you can see it's sort of trending upwards a little bit, maybe about to hit an inflection point, but this means that still the short-term trend is definitely upwards, okay? And the reason why I think this stock has been bouncing up, whereas many other SPAC stocks, especially electric vehicle plays, have been shooting up by like hundreds of percents in a couple of days, was one because there's a law company that's investigating possible breaches of fiduciary duties of Apex Technology Acquisition Corp. Um, but again, this happens to many SPAC stocks. They often get investigated based on possible breaches and possible fraudulent activity. However, this is this happens very often, and so I'm not necessarily worried about this, okay? Again, like I said, it's very common, right? Litigation risk is present in SPAC stocks, as recent cases have been demonstrated, right? So, for example, all these lawsuits, there's alleged securities fraud in connection with SPAC business combination, et cetera, et cetera. And then SPAC shareholders can be suing SPAC for failure to honor his redemption, right? So there's many ways that law companies can investigate SPAC stocks, okay? However, I don't think it's necessarily a concern, and that's why I was willing to buy the dip in AvePoint, okay? Um, and if we look at the investor presentation for AvePoint, again, it's a leading software as a service company, okay, with excellent management, and it has Microsoft as its main business partner, but also has other companies that we're going to go into, right? And like I said, I don't think cloud and data management is going to go anywhere, especially with data security being an ongoing issue, and companies like this having solutions for data security and data management. Okay, so as we can see here, AvePoint is going to merge with Apex Technology Acquisition Corp to create a publicly listed company with a 2 billion market cap. And if we go down, we can see that 21% of the value of the company that's going to be trading on the market will be administered to APXT shareholders. So what that means is pretty much APXT shareholders, if you own the company, will represent a fifth of the company, right? And so because this company is trading at $645 million, if we multiply that by 5 to get the existing valuation of the AvePoint as a whole is $3 billion, okay? And so it's a little bit pricey, but compared to other SPAC stocks, it is actually, in my opinion, undervalued, okay? So now, right now, it's representing sort of more like a 3 billion market cap based on the current share price of AvePoint, okay? Um, and again, it has proven leadership. And one of the main reasons I like this company is that it has recurring revenue streams and has been around for quite a bit, right? It doesn't just have projections for making lots of money in the future, as with many SPAC stocks right now, okay? So it's saying that it has a total addressable market of 33 billion by 2022, and it has already currently over 1,300 employees in 29 global offices with 7 million cloud users with 16,000 accounts. Okay, So we can see 2020, the expected revenue is going to be 148 million, and then 30% adjusted revenue growth, 14% EBIT margin. And again, with this capital raise, they'll have more money to invest in growth in research and development. Okay, so of course, what cloud is doing is managing all the data that's going online, right? So the amount of data is growing fast. Data governance is getting harder to do, and then cybersecurity and privacy risks are of course ongoing. Okay, so AvePoint is one of the leaders in managing that. Okay, and especially this has become important during the pandemic where digital transformation has taken place. Okay, um, and again, one of their main leaders is, of course, Microsoft, right? And Microsoft is huge. It has like the 1.6 trillion market cap, right? And since it's already partnered with Microsoft, they're most likely not going to um, Microsoft, if already likes AvePoint, is not going to look for other customers, all right, because it's very pretty cost intensive, right? So their three factors here are security compliance, which is a 7.2 billion market cap. Cloud integration and migration is 3.1 billion, and data protection as a service is like another 4.8 billion, right? And so what they project for future growth is from Microsoft 365 users to go from 250 million to 500 million, and AvePoint share of total is going to go from 3% to 10%, and AvePoint users from currently 7 million to 50 million. So this would be huge growth if they're actually able to achieve these numbers, okay? And they have a diversified base of blue chip customers, as we can see here. Some of them are like JP Morgan, Rolex, Verizon, and this is very, very important, right? They have a bunch of companies that they can potentially offer their products and services to, okay? And of course, it's already partnering with Microsoft Cloud, all right? And I just want to look at their revenues for a minute. So these numbers have already been turned out in 2019 and part of 2020. We can see they went from 75 million in first quarter of 2019 all the way to first quarter of 2020, 95 million, right? So a 15 million increase in a year, which again is quite nice, right? It's a 27% year over year growth, right? And that's really nice. And we can see in second quarter of 2020, they had 101 million, which is 29% growth year over year. Okay, so I really, really like that. So their yearly revenue growth is just going up. Same as their recurring revenue, that's also going up, represented by the orange numbers here. And finally, if we're looking at more financials, we can see that year to date 2019, they had 51 million in growth, and year to date 2020, they had 66 million, which represents a 29% increase in growth. Okay, and their 2019 actual numbers were 117 million. And if they meet their 2020 expectations, that's a 26% improvement from their 2019 levels if they actually meet $148 million in revenue, okay? And then in 2022, they're expected to get $257 million in revenue, which is a 33% growth, okay? So I really like that, right? And if we look at their margins, this company has one of the highest margins that I've seen, and this is the result of something that's involved in cloud computing, okay? Gross profit margins are crazy high. All right, as we can see here, right now their actual margins for 2019 were 69%. Okay, so pretty much for they were able to retain 69 cents for every dollar in revenue in gross profit, which is really, really nice. And then in 2020, it's expected to go to 72%, right? And then finally in 2020, it's expected to grow to 74%. So that means that more revenue will be transferred to the bottom line, okay? And I really, really like that. And finally, EBIT, non-GAAP is expected to decrease over the years, right? And again, that's definitely nice. Again, pretty much cherry on top, okay? So I like where this company is going. I really like how it differentiates itself from other SPAC plays by actually having a proven product and recurring revenues. And again, cloud and data management is not going anywhere in the future. If anything, it's only going to grow, okay? And this is why I bought this company despite the pandemic. And I really, really like its valuation, even though it's a bit pricey. I do expect a pretty big run up. I think it'll go to around $20 um, by the end of Q1 before they merge. I think it could even go higher than that, and that's what I'm banking on, and that's why I bought AvePoint or the SPAC before the merger at $14.20. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like. I know this is a little bit of a different format because I had to travel, so now I'm recording on my laptop instead of my nice computer. But again, you got to do what you got to do. Anyways, please be sure to check out my videos, and I'll see you in the next one.